Reuben.
Yeah.
It's good to meet you, and it's lovely to hear you play.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
So thanks. Yeah, so just for Leicester Jazz House, we're doing this little interview, and I guess I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about how you kind of came to this point where you're doing these kinds of gigs.
Wow. Well, I started off playing with like local big bands, community bands in Birmingham. This band called the Note Benders. A guy called Andy Hamilton founded.
Oh yeah.
He's a big deal and big inspiration to me.
Oh good.
And I had like guidance from people like Soweto Kinch.
Cool. Crazy
scene in Birmingham, like growing up and sneaking into like the Yardbird jazz clubs and stuff like that, underage, trying to check out some jam sessions and play. And then next thing you know, I moved to London to study, and then I started playing at Ronnie Scott's, playing.
Okay, so you just like missed a little bit out there. I was in Birmingham, then I moved to London, and then I started playing at Ronnie Scott's.
That was basically how it all happened really fast.
Okay, cool.
Essentially, I went to uni at Trinity College of Music, and I started going Ronnies every night, Monday to Thursday. So I'd go and wait till the end of the jam. A guy called Mike Mawinzo was hosting, and he'd let me up, play a tune, and I get to play with like the top musicians in the country. And that was a real fast learning curve, because to come from Birmingham and not really, there's opportunity to play, but London's like really thriving with
it's all there, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot happening. I mean, Birmingham's amazing, and it kind of gave me a grounding, but I felt like I just needed to spread my wings and leave home. But I just started playing at Ronnie's, gained experience there with different cats, and then started gigging really.
That. So if I sort of like shift you on, I think that's really wonderful, and also for young jazz musicians to think. There's like a saying, I think it might have been Thelonious Monk, like don't tout for gigs, he said, just be on the scene. So that kind of sounds like that's what you did, you just put yourself there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if someone doesn't have your number, they can't call you for a gig. Yeah. If they don't know who you are.
If they don't hear you play.
Well, even if you're on the scene, you've got to be cool, you've got to be friendly as well. Like, I'm only going to book people I like, and vice versa.
Yeah. Cool. So if we'd like to jump forward a little bit and talk about like the work that you're doing now and kind of what that means to you, like the kind of gig that you played now, what you're trying to do with that, because a lot of it was really irreverent and kind of provocative, I felt, like for an established jazz audience, and I just wondered like how you approach that in your mind, or what you're trying to do with your music, achieving even.
Well, I played a lot of standards. I still think standards are a very important part of the music. And a lot of cats, don't only play originals on gigs. And I thought Leicester Jazz House, it's quite an older crowd.
So you researched your audience a bit?
Well, I mean, a lot of jazz audiences are an older crowd. Okay. So, you
didn't have to do much research.
So it's like, I just thought I'd play some swing and some blues, and that is going to connect with people on a deep and soulful level.
But then you flung in a few like pop tunes.
Yeah,
as well,
I just play everything. Like I listen
Yeah.
to pop music. I write a lot of pop music. I write a lot of jazz music. I listen to jazz music. I'm not going to ignore different parts of my
put it in a box and make a little museum piece. You want to?
No, I want to just do everything. I just want to do whatever comes to my mind, basically. But I do write a lot of music. And yeah, I'm just trying to. Basically, there aren't many entertainers in jazz anymore.
Yes, that's good. I love that entertainment.
It's like it's all become very introverted and very, very serious. And a lot of the time, you'll leave a jazz gig like, oh my god, like everyone's a bit confused, a bit like. But I'm trying to connect with it. No. Like I listen to some out stuff, but. When
was I meant to laugh at that point?
No, I'm just
exactly that kind of thing.
I'm basically saying like you need to be able to have your music has to translate to everybody, translate to auntie, to
Kid,
whatever, the grocer, whoever.
That's
like,
what I meant trying to laugh. I meant there's points in your gig where I thought, I'm going to laugh. Yeah. This is funny.
Well, this is...
And sometimes in a jazz thing, you're like, am I allowed to laugh at this? Is this actually meant to be funny? But
here's the thing, like, if you look at the lineage of the music and where it's coming from, it's a social music, it's a social experience. If you listen to Charlie Parker records, the reason why that music was so deep, like lawyers would go and watch the gigs, doctors, everyone was into it. It wasn't just
they were letting their hair down as well, weren't
Precisely, it was a soulful, joyous experience, like with the blues, and that's what translates to everybody. Period.
I love it.
And
people music
and entertainment as well. Like, people want to come to a show to be entertained. They don't want to come to a show to be confused.
Well, a few people do, but most people don't.
Well, in my opinion,
I agree.
You've got to entertain people. Like, you should be able to laugh, you should be able to cry, you should be able to dance, you should be able to clap, you should be able to shout, you should be able to do whatever. Obviously, English audiences are very conservative, but I try and bring people out of their shells in my gigs. I do a lot of gigs with this band called Kansas Smitties in London, and you know, we get everybody dancing, and like, this is dance music, that's where it came from.
No, I agree. I love it, because sometimes you, in that art, sort of like almost like making jazz in a gallery with all the white walls and all the people going, shh, shh, if anyone talks, and I sometimes feel like, wow, this music was created like in a smoke-filled club with fights breaking out at the back. But, you know,
there are definitely times
to be reverent, aren't there?
Reflection and the deepness and the emotion, but I just want to bring out all emotions from everybody. I want everyone to experience every emotion during my gig.
Yeah, not telling people to start throwing eggs.
Well, you know. And then I want them to leave thinking like, wow, like, I've experienced so much that was so, like, joyful. And
you worked with Abram as well?
Yeah.
Did any of that kind of influence you with his kind of attitude towards playing and stuff?
Abram's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Okay.
No, I mean...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Everything, a lot of the things I learned about the blues and the lineage of the music I learned from Abram. And that was where I really cut my teeth. Playing with it, because I started playing with him when I was...
So that's Abram Wilson, the jazz trumpeter who sadly died a couple of years ago.
I know. And basically, Abram was my mentor, and that was kind of the first really kind of big jazz gig I'd ever done. It was like one of my first ever jazz gigs, and I had to step up to the plate because obviously he was a serious trumpet player. And I mean, that was a big learning experience for me.
Lovely, thanks.
Sick.
Got a lot there. Yeah, sick, very sick. And what was the other one? Peak time.
Peak times.
Peak times. So, anything else that you wanted to talk about, like a new project or something you want to just kind of get out there a little bit, or?
Well, I'm working on. I'm going to release an EP, like end of the year.
The EP.
No idea. I'm still writing a lot of stuff. I'm going to be singing on it.
Hey.
There's going to be some features on it. I'm not going to say who. But I'm just gonna, because I haven't released anything as of yet, so I'm not trying to rush anything. I'm just gonna let the creativity happen, put something down, and start.
So kind of the same attitude you've got towards your gigs, really. Just let the creativity happen, and
I don't want to try and force anything. Happens, like everyone's like, you need to put out a record, man. You need to
clean
up at the gigs, and it's like I'm not putting out anything until it's gonna be like sick. So so I should release something end of the year, maybe early next year.
Cool. Look out for that. On we'll tell you about it. Leicester Jazz House will tell you about it.
Definitely.
Reuben James. Thank you so much.
No problem. Hi, my name's Reuben James, and you're watching Leicester Jazz House TV.